Alright, welcome back guys to my Let's Play Lamplight City where we left off. Voodoo. Sorry, I got really excited. I can't help it. I love the Gabriel Knight series. I mean, the third one was a little... but you know, it's overall Gabriel Knight is a fantastic series. Shameless plug. If you haven't seen Gabriel Knight, you should totally check out my Let's Play of all three. Like way back in the day. Oh my goodness, it was like 8 years ago, something insane like that. But yeah, check it out. That's like when Paul started out the YouTube channel. Shenanigans. Anywho, so we learned that this poor guy is being used, basically. I'm pretty confident. We're gonna go talk to his mother and get some more information. Since we have to do some key phrase, which I totally forget. Hopefully he remembers. Yeah, it would be this place.
You again? I told you I have no time for visitors.
Albert gave me a message, yes.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Roch's dog is barking.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do. Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
It means that we're the worst detective ever, and we're cool. Anywho, let's stare at all of her stuff while standing in front of the door, and then we'll talk to her. So let's look at... Oh, we can go through the curtains. Ooh, okay, so let's start, yeah, from the right.
The Virgin Mary. I must admit, she was the last person I was expecting to see in here.
So I do wonder if she's able to, like, I can't remember his name. I'm a terrible person. The voice in our main character's head. I wonder if she can sense like a spirit hanging around him. That kind of shenanigans. But let's continue looking at stuff awkwardly.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies.
Oh, a statue that gives you the willies. Let's see what's so... Oh, we can't acknowledge it. Oh, well, never mind. Maybe this statue?
For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
It's just some dude riding a horse. That's all. Pots.
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Oh, they have. That's actually really cool. Huh. Anyway, decor. Let's keep looking at the decor.
That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily.
We will find the Easter lily at some point in this game, because it relates to the plot. Don't worry, my ghostly partner. We will find an Easter lily, because it's all part of the plot. Unless they're planning on making a sequel. Who knows? Anywho.
It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
Okay, now I guess we'll talk to you.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
And of course, and as usual, from the top.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
He's all the family I have, Mr. Fordham.
I mean, he's not wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I edited out my laugh, but there was a good chuckle with that. Let's continue.
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for polite conversation, Mr. Fordham. But I can tell you this. Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
Oh, I'm not surprised she has a lot of enemies. But I'm pretty confident it may be the daughter. I also wonder the son. It's like a son-daughter plotting to kill the mom kind of storyline. But let's continue with all the jibber-jabber. Also, we can ask for tea. Oh, fantastic. Annie, I'm being distracted from the top.
What do you know about Juliet, Madame Dupre's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Roch is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
I mean, she's not wrong. Having that mystery does add some spice to your life. Anywho, keep going.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
I'm a Mambo Asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Okay, there it is. There's the question. There's the point, voodoo. Please say, what do you know about voodoo? For the love of toast, for the love of Tim Curry, please say those magic words. What do you know about voodoo? Let's click it. Let's pray. Let's hope.
Can you tell me a bit more about your religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason. Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. You had the opportunity to make a reference to Gabriel Knight about what do you know about voodoo, and it didn't happen. I'm sorry. Anywho, let's ask for some tea. Tea sounds amazing.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
Oh, I know what we need to do here. Oh, quick, go. Be a sneaky detective.
Amazing! Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
Good question.
They obviously have some importance to her. I'd suggest asking, but I don't know if that's the best idea given how sensitive she seems to be about the subject.
The tea should be ready in a few minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
You're very kind, Mrs. Martin.
Okay, so I'm guessing we need to ask her about it. I mean, I will say, the one thing I love about Gabriel Knight, like the first one, is learning about the history of voodoo. And just about voodoo in general. That's one thing I really liked about the first Gabriel Knight, just how in-depth they went with that. I can't remember if the other two games, if we had a real in-depth discussion topic. I can't, sorry, my brain's doing the dial-up thing. Give me a second. In-depth detail about like the theme of the games. I think the second one we did with werewolves. I think the third one it did with that really dumb network thing that I don't think I really went into because it was just a lot. I feel like the first one did it really well in regards to like, this is voodoo. Let's talk about voodoo. Let's explain voodoo. Let's get the players an understanding about the theme of voodoo. And the second one, you know, it was all cheesy goodness FMV, so of course it was amazing. Anywho, I'm rambling. I am totally rambling. Let's talk to her again and hopefully bring up Voodoo.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Eric, we're just gonna mention that we were super nosy. Okay, back room.
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Oh. Well, we are supposed to be the worst detective ever, so yes.
I had a look behind your curtain. Care to explain what all those things in that back room are?
Mr. Fordham, I was under the impression you could be trusted. Clearly, Albert was wrong about you.
Why are you keeping them out of view? What's their significance?
I don't like people invading my privacy, Mr. Fordham. You're no longer welcome in my home. Please leave.
But without me, your son won't get out of jail. Nobody else thinks he's innocent. Are you really going to put your pride over your son's life?
And now you insult me? You're really something special. I won't say it again. Get out!
You clearly hit a nerve there, Fordham.
Rather suspicious, if you ask me. Perhaps her and Mr. Martin's religious practices aren't as innocent as they claim to be.
An interesting notion. Well, I can't deny that the evidence against Mr. Martin is somewhat damning. If his mother was so sure of his innocence, she'd surely have explained what all those things behind the curtain were. I don't think Upton will appreciate being proven wrong. But like Fellows said, facts are facts.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be kicked out of the house, but I am the worst detective ever, so I should expect that. I still think he is innocent. I think the mom is just, it was mentioned in the conversation that people frown upon voodoo and they think it's evil and everything, so it's just her hiding it, protecting herself, protecting the fact that they do practice voodoo, also protecting her son also, because good chance she's dealt with enough bullshit and shit of people treating them poorly because of the whole practicing voodoo. So I think she's just used to hiding all that stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get out of here. So we kind of burned that bridge to the ground. Oh yeah, we totally did. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Goodbye. Bridges are burning over here. Can we go back to the jail? Let's go back and talk to the son and be like, we're curious about voodoo. We looked in the back area. Your mom doesn't like us anymore. Let's do that.
Nothing else to ask him right now. He hasn't got much time left. Best not to waste it.
Okay, never mind. Bye. Okay. I guess we can go to the coffee shop, the cemetery, that hidden house, and the university. Let's go to the coffee shop. I don't think anything is there. Also, I bumped my mic. I apologize. I don't think there's anything important, but we'll just go check and stare awkwardly. Oh, I can talk to her. Yes, I can. And nothing else. So let's talk to her. I wonder if we can find more information.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Ah, yes. Review the case. Oh, I can wrap up the case already? Oh. So if I'm the worst detective ever, I would end the case here. I want to explore. I'm very curious. But interesting. Okay.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Interesting. Good to know. Okay, so I guess, let's go here. Let's go to the house, see if we can find anything.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the table.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
I kind of love the room. I would love plants in my house, but I'd be very careful because I have a bazillion cats and a dog and also a tiny potato. So any plant I bring in the house, I gotta be is it safe for a whole bunch of things? And be ah, snap, sorry, this plant needs to go live on top of the refrigerator where it's gonna go die. Anywho, let's awkwardly stare at stuff. Plants.
I wonder what sort of fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, It's definitely working.
Oh, alright. Sorry, guys. I had to do a potato break. Let's continue looking at this room. To the bookcase we go.
That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Also, this is obviously before editing. Hopefully, you guys didn't hear that Windows noise, because good old Windows wants to be loud and in center for this Let's Play. If there is no Windows noise, I apologize. If there is, I apologize. I'll try my best to edit it out. If not, you just get to hear those window chime noise of, hey, I've updated, or hey, you should check this out. Whatever BS Windows is trying to do. Anywho, look at the flowering plants.
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose.
Oh my goodness, yes, our poor partner does not love this, oh my goodness, would hate this room. I can speak. I'm assuming if I look at this plant, it's gonna be the same as that plant. Nope, plants. There's a difference. Let's look at the plant singular.
This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass.
Okay, yeah, we'll look at all these notes.
They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
Okay, so the same thing. I guess next is, crates. We can look at the crates. Let's look at the crates and then the desk.
I'm guessing they're probably full of more scientific equipment or plant-related stuff.
Oh my. Ooh, I could press a button. I can stare at an antenna, and I can look at a book and a gauge. Oh my goodness.
I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
Oh, I do. I want to break this thing. Worst detective ever.
Etheric pressure. What a bunch of nonsense. They're just doing what flies do best.
Fly. Notes and a book.
Well now, this is interesting.
Etheric effects with the flora. Larger, more vibrant flowers. Oh, those flowers on the desk in the corner have been tinkered with. Chlorophyll production seemingly triples. Root system strengthens, increases capacity to absorb nutrients. Conclusion, plants thrive from exposure to small etheric currents. Further experiments are needed to determine the long-term effects. And then with the fauna, aka the flies. Brain is clearly affected, inducing a trance-like state. Muscle control lost, wings flap in predictable pattern. Conclusion, if animals with greater cognitive ability, including humans, are exposed to specific quantities of etheric that word ether, and they will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or really now. So the mom had some exposure. Okay. Interesting.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
So do we need to tinker with this to see how much? I feel like we have to. Push the button.
Oh, would you look at that?
Okay, I thought the house was gonna blow up. Okay, nope, did not. So what if I press it again? What happens?
They're just doing what flies do best.
Oh, so they revert back. Oh, so that's... Oh. The plot thickens. Okay. So I bet you this is what happened to the mother. She got exposed to Aether. Aether? Aether? I can speak words. I can pronounce words. Interesting. Okay, so let's get out of here. And I guess we'll see who else we can pester. Cemetery. We can go to our house still. We can go here. Let's go to the cemetery, and then we'll mosey over to the university, and then try to piece everything together. Hello, sir.
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Are we implying that we should go find out?
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum.
What else can we look at before we talk to the police officer? I'm gonna say this, because I was watching the Twitter feed. I know one thing we can do here. I'm kind of excited. Like I said, worst detective ever. I'm excited.
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb.
That's an interesting way to put it. Okay, so that's the exit.
The plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent, so I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important.
Also, this tomb screams Monkey Island-ish. Just the design of the skull. I think that's everything, so we'll talk to the police officer and see if I can do the one thing that I am very excited to do.
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Can we not talk to him? Ah, there we go. Let's talk to him.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Okay, nice day for a walk through the cemetery. I need to get into that tomb. I'll just keep moving along. Top one. Let's be nice.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Okay, so I need to get into that tomb. I'll just keep moving along. Let's go. I need to get into that tomb.
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
But it's my dear departed Aunt Hester's birthday. I think I saw someone's being mugged at the front entrance. Let's do this one.
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir, but that's clearly a bunch of bull. You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not this police officer.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
Okay, so I guess not. I was wrong.
If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
Okay, so I need to move this guy. We'll have to figure out how. I feel like it's tied in the lady who's working there. I guess we'll get to the university, and then I guess here to kind of add some more options. I guess home as well. See the new dialogue options.
Oh, it's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here.
Okay. We'll awkwardly stare at stuff, and then we'll talk to... Hey, Juliet! Let's stare at things first, and then we'll talk to her.
Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though.
Greenhouse.
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty.
Both. Purpose and they're pretty. Contraption.
Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated. But it looks like a giant earwax remover to me.
And then large flowers.
I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Ether. Alright, I guess we're talking... Ooh, bonsai tree.
One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing.
Okay, well, let's talk to her. I think I've covered everything. So let's talk to her.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, as usual, from the top.
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature internment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was. What sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead. I just felt a sense of relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never completely seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
I assume your mother didn't approve of your involvement with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption. As I'm sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
So we should definitely talk to her.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
Indeed.
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things, just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical. I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Deceiver, dissembler, her trousers are alight. I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
I found a spare key in your room. Your brother told me about the experiments. I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't find these things out. I mean, we are trying to be the worst detective. Both the top and the bottom. I feel like if I do the top, she may get grumpy at me. This one would be a flat out lie. I kind of want to do the bottom one. This doesn't give me options to be the worst detective, though. So I'm gonna just pick the bottom, I guess.
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't find things out, Miss Montgomery. Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
Fine. I've been researching etheric effects on living organisms. I'm planning on presenting my discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
That sounds awfully familiar.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies. Those experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. But then, I never really understood these scientific types.
I kind of believe her, because like she's more focused on the plants. I feel like I don't think it was her. I feel like it was two other people in the room fighting, possibly, or something. Someone had to come in and push that button on the machine to have the same effect that happened to Miss Montgomery. You know what I mean? Like she's showing the same effects as the flies were. So like either the mother hit the button or was in the room, maybe arguing with somebody or something. I'm supposed to be the worst detective here, I know, but it's pretty hard when you're kind of like, the evidence is everywhere. Andrew, anywho.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Ooh. So, I don't think it was her. We gotta figure out the whole getting the brother out of his, oh, words. What's the word I'm going for? His current state. Also, that place went bye-bye. Okay, so we have some options. Let's go back home, see if any new dialogues open up with the wife.
I've managed to survive the wild streets of New Britannia.
Hello, Miles.
Okay, let's talk to her.
Let her read in peace for now.
Never mind, we're letting her read in peace. Then let's get out of here.
I'll see you later, Addie.
Give my regards to Constance.
I guess I can talk to you?
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
Okay, good. Oh, hatred of Dupree.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupre?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter. So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her, but even so, I love her daughter. I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
That's all for now.
Well, yeah, it seemed like because of the fact that the daughter was pursuing, going to university and that really put a strain on their relationship. And it kind of screams like she was kind of the black sheep of the family, because as she talked about the brother was a little, highly, words are great, just the golden child, I guess, is the best way I can put it. It just screams that. Let's go to the coffee shop, see if I can get that officer moved, and then we'll head back to the Dupre Manor. Also, I think I said Miss Montgomery way earlier in the video, like the greenhouse. I meant Dupre. My bad. My brain works amazing, if not all the time. That's sarcasm. Anywho, hello. I know I can review the case with her. I don't know if that's like a hint
Can we
system.
talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I am curious. I don't want to wrap up the case. I'm curious about this, so let's click on it.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Oh, cemetery officer and... Oh, so this is my hint system. No, thank you.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
I'm pretty confident that's the hint system. We don't...
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
I don't want to poke that. Unless I absolutely have to, but I guess there is some way of moving the officer. I thought it would be with her. I guess not. Unless... Can I talk to you? I don't think he has any relation...
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to move the officer. Alright, well, just trying to think here. So where to next? Like, I guess here. I could go here to get more dialogue options, but I know I need to move the officer. Let's quickly go here. Actually, Okay. Actually, thinking about it. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I had a thought because, like, the mother acted dead because possibly she could get into the tomb. I don't know. There's at least 2 people that could have, or 3 people that could have done it. Dupree herself, her daughter. Or the son. Actually, no, but that'd be 4. Because I'm thinking no, he was basically, I'm kind of thinking he was used. But like, there's, I'm kind of doubting who done it. But as I'm rambling, I should actually wrap up the episode here, guys. Shameless plug time. Thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments, who do you think done it? Who did it? Do you think it's the Bree? Do you think it's the son? Do you think it's the daughter? Do you think it's the plants? And also, subscribe. And while you're at it, check out my other Let's Plays as well. I do mention this game gives a lot of Gabriel Knight vibes for a lot of the design or choice of like how they do the dialogue and whatnot. So I mean, the good old Gabriel Knight is a fantastic option, or Frankenstein, oh my goodness, through the eyes of the monster. Oh my goodness. If you want some cheesy FMV shenanigans, I am rambling. Also, actually, almost done my ramble. Check out my Twitch channel as well. I stream when I can. Basically, when husband can take care of the potato. I am tempted to do a pause streams at night. Basically, stream till the potato, aka the child, wakes up, kind of thing. So I could stream for 2 minutes. I could stream for an hour. I could stream for 3. Who knows how long? And anywho, once again, thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Have a good morning, a good evening, a good night, and I'll see you in the next Let's Play. Bye. Or next episode. Bye.